Have you ever stopped texting someone, hoping your silence would echo so loudly in their mind that they'd come running back? You thought disappearing would make her miss you, right? But let me ask you this, what happened next? She kept posting stories, laughing in photos, living her best life like you never even existed. And there you were, stuck in a loop of checking your phone, rewatching old memories, replaying every word she ever said. You thought your absence would speak volumes, but to her, it was barely a whisper. She moved on, and you were left in the quiet, but not the kind of quiet that brings peace. The kind of silence that stings, that eats away at you every night, making you wonder, why doesn't she hurt like I do? Why does she look so free while I feel so trapped? Listen, I've been there myself, and I'm telling you, silence alone doesn't heal or will make someone realize your worth. Silence without growth is just a prison you build around yourself. If you don't change what's inside, your silence won't change what's outside. So stop sitting there waiting for her to notice you're gone. Start becoming the man you were meant to be. Because the painful truth is, she won't see your value until you do. Let me tell you something most men don't want to hear. Silence means absolutely nothing if you don't do the work on the inside. You can go radio silent, delete her number, even block her, but if your mind is still stuck on her every day, if you're secretly watching her Instagram stories, counting the minutes since she was last online, hoping she suddenly realizes how much she misses you, you haven't really gone silent at all. You're just trapped in your own head, living in a prison you built with your own thoughts. Think about it. Do you really think she's sitting around feeling the weight of your absence when you're still emotionally tied to her every move? That kind of silence doesn't shake her or make her question her choices. It actually does the opposite. It confirms her decision to leave. It shows her you're still the same man she walked away from, stuck, desperate, unable to move on. And trust me, women can feel that energy from a mile away. Real silence, the kind that actually makes a woman pause and wonder, doesn't come from pretending you don't care. It comes from changing who you are, from evolving so much that her opinion becomes irrelevant. It's about shifting your focus away from her and turning it inward, working on your purpose, your goals, your strength. Because only when you truly let go of needing her validation does your silence turn into power. And that, my friend, is when you become the man who doesn't just disappear, but becomes unforgettable. Let's talk about something most guys never realize. Women have an instinct for weakness. It's like an emotional radar they were born with. This isn't because they're cruel or trying to play games. It's because for thousands of years, their survival depended on reading people's emotions accurately. That's why when you try to fake strength, when you act like you're over her, but deep down you're still hurting, obsessing, or replaying every conversation in your mind, she can sense it instantly. She might not call you out on it, but believe me, she knows it. So ask yourself this. Are you truly moving on, or are you just putting on a show? Because if your silence is laced with sadness, regret, or desperation masked as pride, it doesn't pull her back in. It pushes her further away. Why? Because she feels that your energy is still chasing her, even if your words aren't. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who says he's strong, but radiates weakness. That I know it's harsh, but here's the truth. If your silence comes from pain, it confirms her choice to leave. If it comes from growth, it makes her question everything. So don't fake it. Build it. Start working on yourself until you don't need her to validate your worth. Because only then will your silence speak volumes. Not just to her, but to yourself. Here's what most men get wrong. Real silence isn't about cutting her off to punish her. It's not about sitting there, arms crossed, waiting for her to notice your absence. True silence comes when you've genuinely shifted your focus to yourself. When you're so invested in building your own life that you don't even have time to wonder what she's doing. And let me tell you, that kind of silence is powerful. Because it's not forced. It's not a tactic. It's a byproduct of growth. Picture this. Instead of checking her social media, you're hitting the gym, reading books that expand your mind, learning new skills that level up your career. You're too busy sculpting the man you were meant to become to care about proving anything to her. And when your vision for your future outgrows the role she once played in your story, your disappearance isn't an act of revenge. It's the natural next step. That's the silence that echoes. The kind that makes her pause and think, did I misjudge him? Did I let go of a man who's now out of my league? Because a man who's thriving doesn't need to announce it. His absence speaks louder than any words. So don't disappear hoping she'll chase you. Disappear because your journey no longer includes someone who couldn't see your worth when you were right in front of her. Here's the truth most guys overlook. If you really grow, if you step into your confidence, embrace your masculine energy, and sharpen your focus, she will notice. And not just her. Everyone around you will start seeing the difference. You'll walk differently, talk differently, carry yourself with a quiet strength that turns heads without even trying. Because real growth can't be hidden, it radiates. But let me give you a reality check. You can't fake it. You can't hit the gym twice and post a few selfies hoping she'll come crawling back. You can't pretend to level up by flashing cash or trying to look successful when deep down you're still the same guy desperate for her approval. Fake progress always reveals itself. It's like putting a fresh coat of paint on a crumbling wall. Sooner or later, the cracks show. And when they do, not only will she lose any flicker of interest, but you'll also feel even emptier than before. So here's my question for you. Are you growing because you want to become your strongest self, or because you're hoping she'll see it? Because real growth doesn't happen for someone else, it happens for you. The moment you shift your focus away from impressing her and start building for yourself, that's when your transformation becomes undeniable. And that's when you become the man who commands respect, with or without her in your life. Let's get one thing straight. When a woman stops valuing you, that's not your cue to chase her harder or prove your worth to her. It's your chance, your golden opportunity to redirect every ounce of that energy back into yourself. Because here's the reality most men miss. The energy you waste obsessing over someone who doesn't see your value is the same energy that could transform your entire life if you invested it wisely. So what if, instead of stalking her stories, you channeled that fire into the gym, pushing yourself until you felt stronger than you ever imagined? What if you took the time you spent overthinking and used it to learn a skill that could double your income? What if you stopped replaying old conversations in your head and started reading books that sharpen your mindset and fuel your ambition? And beyond the physical and mental, what if you reconnected with your spiritual strength, whatever that looks like for you? So you're not just tougher, but truly grounded. I'm not just talking theory. I've lived this. The moment I stopped leaking my power into people who didn't appreciate it, my entire life changed. My confidence grew, my opportunities expanded, and for the first time, I felt like I was driving my own destiny. So ask yourself, do you want to keep giving your energy to someone who walked away, or are you ready to invest it in the one person who will always be with you? Here's something you need to hear today. Attraction isn't built on the history you share with someone. It's built on how people see your value right now. You could have years of memories with her, inside jokes, late night talks, and everything in between. But if today you're stagnant, bitter, or stuck in the past, none of that history will spark attraction. Because attraction is alive. It's fueled by who you are becoming, not who you used to be. Think about it. The moment someone else, maybe a mutual friend, a co-worker, or even a stranger, starts to notice your glow up, your drive, your confidence, that's when the woman who doubted you can't help but wonder, did I misjudge him? Did I walk away from a man who's now rising above everyone else? It's human nature. We're all drawn to momentum, to growth, to people who refuse to settle that SO instead of obsessing over whether she's watching. Focus on building a version of yourself that's impossible to ignore. Let your progress speak louder than your words ever could. And remember, you don't do this to make her jealous or regretful. You do it because you deserve to become the man you were meant to be. The man who doesn't need anyone's validation to know his worth. Because when you value yourself, the world, including her, will have no choice but to notice. Here's a truth every man needs to face head on. When you find your purpose and build real discipline, you free yourself from the ghosts of anyone who walked away. The pain, the what-ifs, the endless replays of your last conversations, they lose their grip on you the moment you lock into your mission. Because a man driven by purpose doesn't have time to chase someone who couldn't see his worth. He's too busy chasing his goals. But let's be real, you can't half-step this. You need to end the obsession completely. That means deleting her number so you don't find yourself texting her at midnight. It means blocking her on social media so you're not tempted to watch her stories or spiral into overthinking every post. And it means cutting emotional ties, not because you're bitter or angry, but because she simply doesn't fit into the blueprint of the man you're building anymore. Think about it. Every time you check her profile, every time you wonder if she's thinking about you, you're feeding a past that no longer serves you. And every second you spend stuck in that past is time stolen from your future. The man you're becoming needs all of you, your focus, your discipline, your energy. So choose your purpose over your past and let go of what's holding you back. Because once you do, you'll stop feeling haunted and start feeling unstoppable. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. The relationship you're mourning is over. It's done. And the longer you keep feeding it your energy, the longer you'll stay stuck exactly where you are. Stop pouring your time, thoughts, and emotions into a connection that's already dead. Because every second you spend reliving what went wrong is a second you could invest in what can go right for you. Imagine if you took all the energy you've been wasting on checking her social media or daydreaming about what could have been and redirected it into goals that actually build your future. What if you set real targets at the gym, the kind that make you proud every time you see yourself in the mirror? Or what if you decided to learn a high-income skill, something that not only challenges you, but changes your financial reality forever? And how about starting each day with a morning routine that forces you to win the morning before the world can knock you down? Quiet progress is the loudest statement you'll ever make. You don't have to post it online. You don't need to brag. Because when you're genuinely leveling up, people, including her, will feel your growth even if they can't see every step. Remember, your silence doesn't mean you're stagnant. It means you're working. And nothing screams louder than a man who's silently building the life he deserves. Let me give you a reality check you might not want to hear. If your plan is to sit around waiting for her to come back, you've already lost. Don't waste another day hoping she'll suddenly realize what she let go. Instead, focus on becoming so different, so improved, so powerful that you're unrecognizable to the man you used to be. Because here's the truth. She didn't leave the strong, confident, grounded man you're meant to become. She left the man who was dependent on her, the man who needed her validation to feel complete. But what if you flipped the script? What if you became the man who doesn't flinch at her absence, who no longer lets his emotions rise and fall based on whether she texts back? That's the man who commands respect, not just from her, but from everyone around him. That's the man who doesn't need to announce his growth, because his presence speaks volumes as, oh, here's your wake-up call. Stop wasting time watching her stories, wondering who she's with, or replaying old conversations. Start rebuilding your life brick by brick, day by day. Become a man so focused on his purpose that her opinion, or anyone else's, becomes irrelevant. Because the goal was never to win her back. It was to discover the version of you who doesn't need her to feel whole. And trust me, when you do that, you don't just move on, you level up. All right, before we wrap up today's message, I want to talk directly to you, the man who knows deep down he's ready for more. If what you heard today struck a nerve, if it lit a fire in your chest, don't keep that spark to yourself. Join this movement, because this isn't just about you or me. It's about every man out there who's stuck in pain, who's chasing someone who already let them go, who's forgotten that his life is his responsibility to build. Imagine what could happen if thousands of men heard this message and decided to take their power back. How many lives could we change together? How many men could stop living in regret and start living with purpose? But that can only happen if you help spread the word. So if this resonated with you, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button so YouTube knows this message matters. Drop a comment below and share your story or your commitment to change. Your words could inspire someone else who's struggling right now. And if you want more insights to keep you moving forward, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because this channel is dedicated to helping you become the strongest, most unshakable version of yourself. Remember, your breakthrough could be the spark that helps another man find his own. Let's build this together.